So here's the deal. They were talking about rumors regarding the next expansion being pirate-themed. Mike Ybarra shot that down in a tweet. Speaking of tweets, there's been interesting tweets about Mike Ybarra. dropped into Max's chat.
I see.
That will be fun to talk about. But yes, he said no pirates. And it's, it's quite interesting. Oh yeah, there is that whole thing where Taliesin thinks we're copying his videos about the pirate thing.
Oh, yeah. I wonder where he got the ideas from, and if there's any possible chance that we got them from the same place because they're literally in the video game and everyone's talked about them for ages. I wonder. I
don't know what that guy's doing sometimes. It's like you don't have to randomly throw shit at us and just kind of lie in front of thousands of people. That's weird.
To each their own.
Yeah, it's kind of so insignificant. I'm not really it's whatever, but I don't know. It comes across as really bizarre. But anyway, there was a lot of shared speculation amongst the entire community, which I think does mean that many Twitter users were also stealing Taliesin's ideas. God, those damn Xers back at it again.
Please don't call them Xers.
Oh, I gotta call them Xers,
don't.
Man. But the whole thing about pirates, there was patch 10.0.7, the Forbidden Reach one, that was absolutely crammed full of pirates and Naga, and the pirates had various little stories and things about the Night Squall, some legendary night elf, captain. It was going to sail around the shore. So that's one of the reasons why people were, talking about pirates and stuff. There's then the koi. The koi-looking, fish thing, which is
confirmed in the Emerald Dream.
Which is confirmed in the Emerald Dream, even though the store copy said that it was nearly hunted to extinction by Ancoans.
No, nearly hunted to extinction, then rescued by Ancoans.
Then rescued by Ancoans, which then makes us think, hang on a second. I don't think there's Ancoans in the Emerald Dream. Get your story straight. And then, of course, there was the sea bundle, right, of all of the nautical themed things, and also the trading, and also the trading post stuff. It was kind of funny to see all of that because, of course, we had the Dragon bundle, which came out a few months before Dragonflight. So that's why there was pirate speculation. So that has been kind of slammed down. Well, that opens things up. I mean, it actually opens things up in a good way, I think.
It opens it up to being a complete Void expansion, right?
No, because not complete anyway. Because Ian actually said, right, when it comes to expansions, the team looks for places that can include a diversity of settings and vibes, something the Emerald Dream lacks. For the same reason, the team discarded an older idea revolving around an old god-themed expansion, which he said started to feel pretty oppressive if the team were to stick to the dark tone the subject matter demanded. That's an interesting thing, because, right, here's the challenge. Here's the challenge, and I kind of understand it, because, the immediate thought there is, come on, that's weak. But, take Northrend. In a way, because I think the initial...
Any day of the week, yes, absolutely.
The initial way that people would have taken that is oh, Northrend. By that logic, we wouldn't get Wrath of the Lich King. But I think Northrend, within it being full continent, it had quite a few different things going on. You had the Titan stuff, you had the Mage and Blue Dragon stuff, you had the Lich King stuff. It ended up having enough to fill out an expansion. But I think for them, though, it's all of their old gods, while they look different, they all feel quite similar. So I do think that it could be done in a way that would be great for players, but it would probably require a lot of pre-production. As an example, you maybe want some sort of paradise-like dream that is in fact... some Truman Show manifestation from an old god. And, everyone, you could go really crazy, but that's also kind of risky and it may not land with everyone. So while I do get the counterpoints to that, I do also understand what Ian's saying. So we're kind of in a no pirate area and also a no full-blown old god area. Without talking about a world revamp, what do you think could happen?
I have no idea, just because of no pirates, because everything that's built up that we can expect has been built up around the Void, right? we wouldn't expect the Shadowlands where we go to the Void. That would be completely absurd. So I imagine it would be a Void incursion. And if something's coming to Azeroth, that implies world revamp in some capacity. Now, would they world revamp? Would they be stupid enough to do Cataclysm 2? I don't think so. Because Cataclysm 2, and what I mean by that is, you look around anywhere in World of Warcraft today, almost every zone is, for lack of a better way to put it, wrecked. The Barrens is just full of lava. Ashenvale is a big fire pit. Most of Azeroth is more or less destroyed. So if they do something that's based on an incursion of some sort or an invasion, so it's okay, right? So the light's coming, it's Urel and all that stuff. They do that, then they would have to revamp it where it's all attacked by the light. Obviously, they could find a way around it, but you'd want it to look lighty and look like that. So you'd expect almost like the Revendreth zone where it's all light blasted, and you see like what happens if the entire Plague Lands is blasted by light, or whatever something. And the Void version of that is what if every zone, or what if like we're remaking Thousand Needles as an example. We're remaking Thousand Needles, and the Void has come, and there's big purple stuff everywhere. And everyone goes, well, that's going to be big and purple forever, isn't it then? Because you don't want to do that. Which means it has to be a world revamp that has no major narrative stakes immediately, which seems somewhat unlikely, but a possibility. So you go for world revamp, everything's good, we're doing small problems, and then whoop-ah, something happens. And you have like one zone that gets, you could almost go for the...
but with the restriction that it can't be a world revamp.
Then... Like that's the thing where restriction with no world revamp basically just with nothing anymore.
And that's why everyone thought pirates.
Yeah, so because pirates, you could get away without them, but all of the sea stuff, because the only place oh no, I've got it. It would have to be another continent on Azeroth, and pirates are almost none to it.
Which
because
they could totally do. They could have the Night Squall's fleet arriving being a patch as like, you know, a third party kind of busting into the situation. If you think about if you think about where we're currently at, Farak's going to be defeated. Farak drops an ahead of the curve mount. And for a very long time...
you mean he drops a manuscript?
He drops a manuscript. Is a manuscript a mount? Ooh,
this knows? Is the epistemological crisis the World of Warcraft faces. If a manuscript is considered a mount, then there will be no 10.3.
I love it. They're going to the greenlighting meeting for patch 10.3, and then Ian's just like, no, God damn it! I'm a lawyer! The spirit of the rules says that a manuscript is a mount, and therefore I've cancelled patch 10.3 because we cannot break the pattern.
Yeah,
and then Steve the Loser goes, no, the pattern! The fractals!
Yeah, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
I think...
my core point is just Eridicron, he's going to pop. Obviously, like, Farak's going to be dead by the end of this patch. I think we all know that. He does have a death animation on his model. Ooh, big surprise. But like there's at least, per the formula continuing, there's 2.5 and 2.7, which could be the so in FF14. What would happen is we would have 2 stages of MSQ that would end with a solo duty where we somehow 1v1 Eridicron and kill him. Because that game really does get very cool at points. That will never happen in WoW. So for me, it's like either Eridicron, you know, either there is a 10.3 and there's a mini raid, or Blizzard just does a raid but not a full patch zone, or maybe does a mini raid along with Season 4. Or something like that, and we do kill Eridicron, or we don't kill Eridicron. Farak is the final boss. A big story thing happens at the end of 2.7. But it's like firmly the, whatever the next expansion is, like it's the next thing that's going to happen. And that would make sense because we're going to defeat Farak, or at least know we're defeating Farak from PTR and everything. And then at BlizzCon, they're going to reveal the next expansion. And you'd imagine that the future content that comes out, before that expansion comes out, will then be leading us into that expansion. because you've got Verinoth, who is our mate now, and I had thought like maybe
spoilers.
I thought like maybe Verinoth will be allied with us, but maybe because she's quite cunning, she'll turn on us. But then you look at the PTR, and like she goes on a little journey with Rathian to do some stuff, and you really at that point think, okay, Verinoth probably won't betray us.
From the PTR campaign, and I'm not going to go around spoiling the whole campaign today. I'm literally going to talk about it at a very broad level but yeah, Verinoth is a main character and clearly our mate. In a way that's really good. I actually really enjoy it.
Good.
And it's not just like, oh, we're best friends now. It is like, hey, you're along with us to do this thing, but the more time we spend with the character, the more we know about them, the better they're kind of, the closer they get, all that kind of stuff does actually happen, which I think is very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. So I don't see her suddenly turning on us again, because it was very like the whole cutscene of her talking to Alex in 10.1.7 was very much, oh yeah. Yeah, when we see them again, it's like, yeah, we talked for ages and we came to understand each other and have developed trust. Like, sound.
Yeah. So I suppose the idea then, we have like a new expansion coming out, and there's actually a direct follow-up through the story of like the end of the preceding expansion. Like that's obviously not confirmed.
Theoretically,
but you do think like they announce an expansion, we know where they're going. The only thing left to deal with is Iridikron and Xal'atath. So then the question is...
And
Ashara. But mostly Iridikron and Xal'atath, because those are the characters
there
we've seen on screen, where we haven't seen Ashara on screen.
See, this is where it gets a bit weird. Because it doesn't seem like a very... there was so much screen time dedicated to them that not wrapping up this expansion sounds very counterintuitive, just because I really don't expect them to... From a production and an overall product sense, I don't expect them to greenlight something internally that is, oh, this is a story that happens over multiple expansions. I can imagine some big suit going, but what about people who pick up the next expansion? Because everyone has to make that sound and face. They're like, but what about people who, this is not good for player onboarding and on-ramping. This is not good. This will be a down number. Line God will be sad. And then they will eventually start getting louder and louder and just like, Line God sad! Line God sad! And then Ian will have nothing to do except say, Steve, kill Iridikron in this expansion. And everyone's sad about it.
Then Steve's just like, no, I keep on making in-depth plans and then you destroy them. Because I do have like this little suspicion that Steve has all these fucking best laid plans. And then someone just says, sorry, Steve, you've lost 2 patches. And it's wrap it up. Cut the dust, wrap it up.
Well, that happened in Shadowlands. It literally did.
Yeah.
It literally did. Unconfirmed, we basically know.
But it would be the most Battle for Azeroth thing ever to just kill Iridikron, kill Xal'atath, and take us to Zareth Vitae immediately. Elune is just doing the default swim animation through space until her head pops through a cloud and says hello, and that's the cinematic. And away we go to the Lifelands. Thankfully, we're not in that timeline.
I will say, there's, and this isn't even 10.2, this is 10.1.7. I did the Tears Guard quest. And I don't know if any of you have done that yet, because who knows what content's in 10.1.7 and how to find it, because it's all over the place and there's weird prerequisites and stuff. But the Tears Guard quest, they talk so much about order that order versus disorder. I'm sat there going, I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die, which is really annoying because the quest is really good.
Ooh.
And they talk about order in a way that's not capital O order. It's orderliness, and Tyr being this like outstanding gentleman, and how he justice, compassion, what are the other ones, sacrifice, and all those things. And you're like, yeah, this is great, and I like it. It's genuinely very good and wonderful. But at the same time, I was eye rolling, going, would you stop talking about order versus disorder? We know what order is. We get it.
Yeah, it's really simple. Like, just have the shit happen, but cut all the mentions of order and disorder.
And then the same with the Nimue, whatever her name is, the Zereth Mortis reject boss. That's in the Emerald Dream, Emir Drasil Dream's Hope raid. The one that's the
fodder for not safe for work products.
Exactly, yeah. The one that weaves the dream, or whatever the hell. her boss,
The wooden Protoss.
Yeah, exactly, the wooden Protoss. Her boss journal, her dungeon journal text says she like enforces the weave of the Titans in the Emerald Dream or something. I'm just like, you don't need to tell us that. Why are you doing this? Why are you ruining my Emerald Dream base?
Oh no.
Yep.
World of Warcraft. Oh fuck no. I've forgotten the name of the book.
Which book?
I have a feeling, right, there's nothing that would annoy the Warcraft team more than what I was going to go for, right? You know, they're like, 10 rules for life, an antidote to chaos. I'm trying to find the string to tie that fucking goofy shit over to but it's not going to work. Oh dear. By the way, Matt's incredible performance earlier was because I'm enjoying a delicious regular beer. Matt though is sober as a judge. He just feels that passionately about the Lion God and business.
I love business, and I think that I don't want to talk about it because I'll be here all day. Largely speaking, the executive wing of video game companies should all be, and I should have set up some sort of censorship button so I can just beat myself.
They should put into a mob farm in Minecraft.
They should be, yes, in Minecraft, in Terraria, in Rust maybe would be more fitting.
Oh, Rust. Now Rust would be good.
Yeah, they should be put into that in a Terraria game where it's end game and they don't have any items. Anyway, hard mode, yes. Sorry, Terraria is a really interesting game.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, to somehow draw this back to the topic, we know it ain't pirates. We know it's not old gods. We then think about what's potentially coming. And you've got Cosmic Void with Xalatath and Eridicron, which is notably not old god. All right? There's that. You know, World of Warcraft Beyond, if you want to do a name like that. So it's either, you know, we go away somewhere, well, Blizzard works in the full world revamp, or we, maybe go to that new continent, because the one thing they have done a few times is make it very clear. And remember when I say Kalimdor here, I'm referring to Kalimdor thousands of years ago as a supercontinent, a bit like Pangaea, you know, to Earth.
Except that it wasn't Pangaea at all, was it?
What?
Said it wasn't Pangaea at all because there was more stuff.
You've been watching too many Y-Files episodes.
No, I mean Kalimdor wasn't Pangaea.
Oh, yeah.
We were told it was Pangaea, but it's not.
Yes, so we were told Kalimdor was the big supercontinent, but actually it is confirmed there's another one. So we could just go there.